Yes! Oh, okay. Well, not gonna load. Hey everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video, we are going to be talking about Dissidia Opera Omnia, but in a new series I'd like to call DFFOOthesis. DFFOOthesis will cover either a particular character, monster, or summon from the Final Fantasy universe who have yet to appear in Dissidia Opera Omnia. I'll give my own thoughts on how I think they would function in Opera Omnia. Again, this is not official information by Square Enix, but rather a fun fan-made series I wanted to do for the channel. Also, big shoutouts to my bro, fellow streamer It's Omar7 for coming up with the title DFFOOthesis. Without further ado, let's start off DFFOOthesis Episode 1 talking about Count Sidolphus Orlandeau from Final Fantasy Tactics and how I would think he would be in the world of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Count Sidolphus Orlandeau, aka Thunder God Sid, originated from Final Fantasy Tactics. A general in the Order of the Southern Sky that served under Duke Goltana, Orlandeau was a sword saint whose swordsmanship was nearly unmatched, only possibly contended by Barbaneth Beolve, who was Ramza Beolve's father. Recruited in your party during the latter parts of Final Fantasy Tactics, Orlandeau's power completely allowed the player to overpower the remainder of the game's content with his diverse skills, combining the abilities of Agrius Oaks, Gafgarian, and Malayadul Tingle. Because Orlandeau was known to be so powerful in his original game, I decided to come up with a pretty powerful kit if he was ever ported into Opera Omnia. In this hypothetical kit, I combined the powerful aspects of Vayne, Ramza, and Agrius to create Orlandeau's kit, and also made him to be a yellow crystal affinity to play off his Thunder God nickname. To start things off, Orlandeau will have his own unique buff called Thunder God. Thunder God has a 4-turn duration, increases Orlandeau's attack, initial brave, max brave, and defense by 60%, grants the entire party a 10% HP regen and a 50% brave regen, and has a special function depending on the turn durations left on Thunder God. If Thunder God unique buff is at an even number duration, Orlandeau's actions will have no action delay and will not take up a turn count. If Thunder God unique buff is at an odd number, Orlandeau will receive a free skill usage. For his C65 skill, I kept it simple and called it Attack HP Guard All, which allows Orlandeau to raise the party's attack, defense, and HP damage reduction by 15%. On to his actual skills, because his kit in Final Fantasy Tactics is a combination of 3 different swordsmen, I decided to choose based on that. His skill 1 would be Night Sword, coming from Gafgarian's kit, which is 7-hit Dark Melee AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack. HP damage is divided evenly amongst multiple targets. It has a Brave Overflow of 150% and an overall Brave damage potency of 450%. It inflicts Dark Imperil on all enemies for 4 turns and heals your party's HP based on 50% of the HP damage dealt up to 20% of max HP. Any excess heals is converted to Brave. For his skill 2, I gave him Ice Wolf Bite, coming from Malayadul's kit, which is a 6-hit non-elemental melee AoE Brave plus single target HP attack executed twice. It deals 50% HP splash damage to other targets with a Brave Overflow of 180% and a 520% overall Brave damage potency. It inflicts a unique debuff on all enemies called Equipment Break after the first HP attack, which lowers attack, defense, initial brave, and max brave by 30% for 6 turns, and grants Orlandeau his unique buff Thunder God for 4 turns. For Orlandeau's weapons, I went with the following. 15 CP would be Bloodsword, 35 CP would be Defender, EX/EX Plus would be Excalibur, and his LD would be Durandal. Unlocking his 15 CP Bloodsword passive allows his Nightblade to deal 1.6 times more damage against a single target, increases the Brave damage potency by 100%, increases the party's HP heal to 60% of HP damage dealt, and extends the duration of the inflicted Dark Imperil to 8 turns. His 35 CP Defender passive increases the Brave damage potency of Ice Wolf Bite by 70%, allows Orlandeau to grant Thunder God to himself, this time to 6 turns, turns after using Ice Wolf Bite, increases the Brave hits to 9, increases the Brave Overflow by 50%, and grants the party 3 generic buffs, which are 20% attack up, 15% max Brave up, and 30% initial Brave up, and extends the duration of the unique debuff Equipment Break on all enemies to 10 turns. His EX weapon Excalibur unlocks his EX ability Holy Explosion coming from Agrius's kit. Holy Explosion is a 12-hit Holy Melee AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack, dealing 100% AoE HP damage to all enemies. Its damage is increased 1.6 times against a single target, having a 200% Brave Overflow and an overall Brave damage potency of 650%. It grants Orlandeau a unique buff called Unmatched Swordsmanship for 8 turns, which increases his own attack and max Brave by 50% and allows both his Skill 1 Night Sword and his Skill 2 Ice Wolf Bite to unbreak targets prior to the Brave hits. For his EX's realization, I came up with the following. 0 out of 3 allows Holy Explosion Brave hits to ignore defense and also applies a unique debuff on all enemies for 6 turns called Holy Retribution. Holy Retribution ignores any enemy's natural resistance or absorption to the holy element, reduces their defense by 30%, and inflicts Holy Imperil. 1 out of 3 permanently raises Orlandeau's attack and max Brave by 30%, and also allows Orlandeau to cast Holy Explosion at the start of the battle. 2 out of 3 allows Orlandeau to start the quest with his unique buff Thunder God for 4 turns. Finally, 3 out of 3 allows Holy Explosion to hit twice, further increases the Brave Overflow by 100%, and further increases the Brave damage potency to an overall 900%. Last weapon I want to cover is his hypothetical LD weapon, which is Durandal. Having the passive from this grants him an ability called Northwind Strike, which is a 9-hit non-elemental AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack, executed twice, with the HP damage being split evenly amongst multiple targets. It has a 150% Brave Overflow, 600% Brave damage potency, inflicts HP attack silence on all enemies for 3 turns, extends any existing Thunder God unique buff by 2 turns, and refreshes an ability count for both his Skill 1 and Skill 2 up to their initial values. It also grants the entire party a unique buff called Thunder God's Orders for 6 turns, which gives them Dark and Holy enchant and allows any HP damage they deal to heal their HP based on 30% of HP damage dealt up to 20% of their max HP. Yes, I do realize I made Orlandeau very OP with this hypothetical kit, but he deserves it after the impact he made in Final Fantasy Tactics. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this new fun series, and if you guys have any suggestions about what you'd like to see next, let me know in the comment section below. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan, signing out. Mahal, everyone.